again. Thanks for your support thus far. It's been amazing for me. It's just been like top notch. So if you're yet to join the awesome subscribers of this channel, please do subscribe, and there's so much in stock. All right, so today I'll be sharing something I learned this morning. It's a personal experience I had, and I was thinking about it, and I discovered that so many times we find ourselves in that same state I found myself this morning, and it affects every other thing we do because we do not manage it well. And that's why we would always be advised sometimes to read on emotional intelligence, managing your emotions, how to work on your emotions so that it doesn't affect every other thing that you do. So thank God I'm smiling now. A few hours ago, I couldn't have the smile on my face. And so let me just share the brief story. And yes, I woke up, okay, I'm feeling sick somehow, and I had to take medications last night, this morning. So I took medications, and I don't know, I just got to work somehow angry. Maybe because I was on medications, then there were a few personal things which I was dealing with, and I was just whole face, I wasn't smiling, I was just there. And I was just I found myself shouting at everybody, like somebody would say, please help me with this, I can't do this. It got to a point I was almost screaming at the printer. I was to print a document from my system, and I was shouting at the printer like, this is not working. Everything. I was just angry, and my colleague at work was like, Tama, what is wrong with you? Calm down. I said, this is your mood today. And this is like my first time of being like that. And that was beginning to define me. Like, it was getting to me, and so in my head I wasn't in a good mood. Like, I said that out, and immediately I said that, I picked myself and said, no, I told myself, you calm down, you're not hungry, you are not hungry. I said that for about 5 times. Damn, you're not angry, I'm not angry, I'm not angry, I'm in a good mood, I'm not in a bad mood. And as I kept on saying that, I found out that there was this peace, there was this calmness I had. Like, I just got calm. Then, like, for the first time in like 4 hours, I was able to smile. There was a smile on my face, and I thought that, wow, so this thing works. I immediately just switched, and I became more intentional. That was the word. I became more intentional about my response to people, about the things I was doing. I was able to focus on what I was doing. I just told myself no, because I knew if I continued that way, I was going to affect so many other people, and it could affect their perception of me. So I was not going to allow what was going on my inside, in my health, and then some other things I was bothered about. I wouldn't allow that affect my relationship with other people, because it could sever a relationship that I won't be able to easily mend. And then why am I sharing this with you today? I know so many times we find ourselves in this same situation, like I find myself today. We get maybe angry, maybe somebody did something and it affected you somehow, and if you don't manage it well, you begin to overreact to things, and every other person around you gets affected. And somehow you're painting a picture of who you're not. So it's always good. I found out that we can actually speak to ourselves. You can correct whenever you sense something comes out of you that is not you. You can speak to it immediately, like I did to myself. I asked myself, come on, you're not angry. You can't, no. Because at first, they were saying that means angry today, that means in a good mood today. And I was feeling like, okay, it was just a normal, it was my state of being. But until I spoke to myself and said, come on, you're not angry. Because it's a brand new date. I wouldn't allow any emotion to affect my productivity, to affect what I'm supposed to get today. And when you're not joyful, when you allow all of those things get to you, you start withdrawing. That's where sorrow sets, and that's where it could even lead to depression. And so I wasn't going to allow any negative energy. I wasn't going to allow that vibe. So I had to tell myself, babe, you're not angry, you're not in a bad mood. Yes, fine, you have stuffs in your head, but come on, we can manage it well. And so in my head, I was speaking to myself, I was talking to myself, and as I was talking to myself, my expressions got better, my reactions got better. I was more intentional. So we need to learn to intentionally manage our emotions. That's the summary of everything. You know, there are times things happen in your home, in your house, and you get to work, you get out there. You don't have to put it all over on your face. Everybody does not know that something is wrong with you and shout at somebody, scream at somebody. Sometimes you may need to take out a minute or two, just go somewhere, be alone, and talk to yourself. Okay, this is happening, this is my reality. Fine, but I'm not going to allow it to define me. I'm not going to allow it affect the way I respond to people. I'm not going to allow it affect my productivity. I'm not going to shout, because it could be very annoying, shouting at somebody for no reason, screaming at people like I was doing earlier. If in my head, I have to tell myself, come on, this is not you. You can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do this. Imagine just catching relationships I have built for months just because of a bad mood in quote. So there's nothing like a bad mood. We can control our mood. Things happen and you feel bad, but instantly, once you switch, there's a way you speak to yourself, there's a way you're intentional about it. Everything is intentionality. There's a way you're intentional about it, and you find that immediately there's a switch in that atmosphere. There is a switch instantly. So we should learn to control our emotions. We should learn to manage, that's the word, manage our emotions. We would not always be all laughy and smiley every day, but somehow you can still manage to keep that smile on your face, because there are a lot of people whose life, yes, their life depends on your smile, because there's a way they see you smile, there's this energy they see you put up every time, and they're encouraged. So it's not every time we go through things that we have to wear it on our face and the whole world has to know that you're going through it, and it's that girl. She's not in a good mood. In fact, that should not even be something that people know you for, and they do like every time they're not in a good mood. Please, she's not in a good mood, don't go near her. You know, that is wrong. We should be able to manage our emotions well. When you're at work, face your work, relate well with your colleagues, with your manager, with your teammates, regardless of how you feel. When you're in class, relate well with your friends, your colleagues. Don't wear your emotions. Don't let it overwhelm you. Don't let it burden you. Don't pour out your anger on any other person because of how you feel. So I want to believe, yeah, that's just the story of what happened to me. And thank God I spoke to myself. Now I have my smiles. I won't be able to do this. I have my smiles back on my face. I was able to quickly mend those cracks I already made because of the way I responded to people earlier. I smiled. I had to say, let me help you with what you're doing, and you know, I had to tell them we were having a good mood. I was just even not feeling too strong, but it wasn't going to define, it wasn't going to affect. And imagine, I wouldn't have been able to do anything for today, because I've discovered that whenever I allow my emotions overwhelm me, I would just not be able to do anything, just be there, feeling sad, feeling unhappy for no reason. Yes, you might think there's a reason to it, but when you really look at it, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Fine, this thing is happening to me, but do I have to wear it on my face? Does everybody have to know that something is wrong? So that's about that. So learn to manage your emotions well. Yes, learn to manage your emotions well. No, but there's nothing like bad mood. I mean, a bad mood today. Don't let that tag be on you. There's something smiling does to you. There's a way it helps you ease up the loads. When you're thinking about 100 things that you need to do, when you just intentionally tell yourself, okay, this is my reality, fine, but I'm not going to be weighed down by it. I choose to see the bright side. I choose to focus on what I have to do today. I choose to achieve what I have to achieve today. The day is still bright. You find out that everything around you responds to that. Everything around you responds to that. Okay, so there are times that you will have to maybe just find what to do to correct the way you feel, and sometimes it could be talking to somebody. So if you need to just pick your phone, call a friend, and keep it, this is how I feel now. You just need to pour out that negative vibe. So once you pour it out, because it is not, there are times that if you try to do it yourself, you might just still be struggling. So I know there are times like that when I'm beginning to sense some negative energy, maybe because something happened to me and I'm trying to deal with it and all of that. So I just pick my phone or call somebody, call a friend, and just pour myself. So after the whole thing, there's this way your friend will calm you down and you're just back to yourself. So that you don't cause more harm, you don't cause more damage just because you're trying to deal with something. So there are always better ways rather to deal with situations, and that's just summary. So thanks for following my talk on what just happened to me, and I just had to share with my family here on YouTube. Yeah, you're a family, you're not just a community, we're family, we're going together. So thank you, and if you're yet to subscribe to the channel, invite friends to subscribe, check out the videos, learn from them, drop your comments, they'll be well appreciated.